Hello, good morning, team. I hope I'm audible to you all. Team, am I audible to you?
Yes, you're audible.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, you can begin the session.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, class. So let me just share my screen with you all. Class, let me know if you could see my screen.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Yeah. So today I'll be covering like HTML effects and like all the tags we use in HTML. So yeah, this is what is agenda for today. Today I'll be covering iframe tag, HTML tag, parallax effect, and how do we add emojis in HTML. Yeah. So like the first tag which I'll cover today is iframe tag. So iframe is mainly short for inline frame, and with the help of iframe you'll be able to add a lot of like add YouTube videos or to embed any kind of embed any kind of documents, be it a website, be it a YouTube video, or be it GIF or any kind of videos. If you want to embed in your program, for that we'll use iframe tag. And if you want to use iframe tag, the syntax for iframe tag is this: we have to mainly use the iframe tag in the body part of your program, and like the keyword which we will be using for iframe tag is iframe. Src is equal to the URL or the YouTube video, whatever you want to include the URL for that, and then you have to mention the height and width for your iframe tag. And then like this is mainly a CSS property style border, all this is just an optional thing, and then you'll end your iframe tag and then you'll end your body part. So mainly whenever you want to include an YouTube video, or if you want to include any kind of documents, for example, if you want to include uh, let me just show, if you want to include this videos, or if you want to include like a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of content, or if you want to embed any kind of document in your HTML program, for that we'll be using iframe tag. And coming forward, I'll just give you an example also when I'll be doing practicals with all of you. Any doubts, class, in iframe?
No, ma'am.
Yeah. And then the next tag which I'll teach you is the OL and UL tag, which is very popular in HTML. So OL tag is mainly for ordered list, and UL tag is mainly for unordered list. So for example, if I want to like this is what is an UL tag is. For example, if I want to put bullet points or check marks or any kind of thing, that will come under unordered list. And for example, if I want to give a proper numbering for each of my content in an HTML page, for example, ABC 1 2 3 or whatever I'm putting, so for that I'll be using unordered list in my program today. So this is what will be my syntax is like OL enclosed with the braces, and then if I want to include a list in my under my OL, then I'll be using li. I hope like this is very common in HTML class. I hope people are familiar with OL and UL tags. Yeah. So for unordered list, if I want to include in my program, I'll be using UL tag, and then coming forward, like under my UL tag, whatever is the list I want to provide, and then we'll close the list with \UL, and then I'll close my list. And then this is how means OL and UL tag is used. So yeah, OL tag defines an ordered list. An unordered list can be numerical or alphabetical, how as I showed you. And for unordered list, I'll be using UL tag. Yeah. These were just basics. I did not want to include in my slide, but I just thought let's cover the theoretical part first, and then we'll move on to the practicals because it's just an easy stuff in HTML. Yeah, the next tag is the DL tag, which is mainly for a description list. So the DL tag in HTML represents a description list, and the element enclose a list of groups or terms. So for example, if I want to, let's just give an example for this also. So for example, if in my HTML page I want to give like a header and a subheader for that, and then again a subheader and a description for like how I have given in my presentation. So if I want to give a thing like this, so for that I have to use a description list. For example, this is my header part, and then this is what my description I'm giving in my program. So for that kind of stuff, I'll be using DL tag. And this is what my syntax looked like for DL. So the DL tag defines a description list, and a DT tag defines a term or a name in the description list. And this is my syntax DL. And then in my DL tag, I'm using a data term, which is coffee or whatever content if you want to add. And then like normal thing, we have to just close our DL tag with a backslash. And then next is parallax effect. So what is mainly is parallax effect is like if you have an image or anything in background, so on that background if I have to put in scrolling effect, so this is what is meant by parallax. So parallax scrolling is a website trend where the background content is moved at a different speed than the foreground content. And if you want to use parallax effect in your program, like as a normal HTML code, everything will remain same, like the header, the title, everything will remain same as usual. And this 4 things will be addition in your program. So what is the first thing is like the background size. And the value for the background size can be auto, length, cover, or contain. Any value you can put in while you're writing your program. And like I'll show you how I'm doing it while I'm doing practicals with all of you. And then the next thing is background repeat. It can be repeat, repeat X, repeat Y, or no repeat. X is mainly the vertical axis and Y is mainly the y-axis and then x-axis. How do we do in graphs? So and then no repeat. So mainly like you have to pass any one value among all the 4 values, and here also you have to pass any one value among the 4 values. And then the next thing which is important while writing in parallax effect is the background attachment, whether you want to put a scroll effect, a fixed, or a local effect. So among all the 3 values, if like you have to put like the image should be, the background attachment should be like it should be scrollable with the scroll bar, or it should be fixed, or what, like it should be local. And then the next is background position. Like here you have to mention the height or width of your position. So yeah, these are the 4 things which we have to make sure while writing in parallax program in HTML. Yeah, and then also, and then also whenever like in iframe tag class, when I was teaching iframe, like last time when I covered grid. So in your assignment, maybe you have to write an iframe program using grid. So like when I told you grid, like similarly like parallax, there were some 2 or 3 things which you have to make sure in your content, and then everything else remains same in your program. And then the next topic for today is like how do we add emojis in your program. So emojis are characters from the UTF-8 character set. Emojis look like image. Yeah, this is normal. Covers almost all the characters and symbols. So in HTML class, if you want to include emojis and emojis in your program, so there are UTF sets which you have to follow. So for example, what is UTF-8 class? Anybody is aware of what UTF-8 is? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you are audible.
So anybody is aware about what is UTF-8 here is?
Ma'am, I don't have any idea.
Okay. So class, like if you're aware of other programming languages also, so if we want to print A, B, C, D, E, like if we want to print alphabets, so if you know like computer does not understand the English language, so how do we make computer understand? It is through binary code. So if we want to make sure that if you're using emojis, or if we are using any type of letters in other programming languages, what we were using there was ASCII values. Let me just open my. So what we use in mainly like if we want to print uppercase or lowercase characters. So ASCII we use mainly. So like for uppercase there is a value, and for lowercase there is a value. If I want to print uppercase in my C program, what will I have to use? For example, I have to use 65 to 90 is my range for A to Z, printing A to Z, and for lowercase my number is 97 to 1 to 2. want to print A to Z. So how we do here is like, if I want to print A, what will I use? I will use 65. I will, in my C program, what I will use? I will use 65, and for Z, what I'll use? I will 90. Similarly, 65, 67, 68 is A, B, C, D, E, followed by all those things. And then lowercase is 97, 97, 98. So similarly, if we want to make computer understand our thing, we use ASCII characters. So similarly, here we use UTF-8 characters, which is not, but which is ASCII values assigned to each and every alphabet in your program. ASCII, like UTF-8 is Unicode transformation format, and there are a lot of releases which happen to it. For example, we have UTF-6, we have UTF-7, we have UTF-8. So yeah, so today I'll also teach you how do we add emojis in your programs, and then we'll see. Any doubts class in any of the tags which I've used, and then any of the topics which I've mentioned in the PPT? If not, then I'll just move to the practical part. Yeah. So let's just go with the iframe tag first, and then I'll teach you how do we add in video. And for that, let's add a since this is not working, let's take a normal program. So yeah, so like here, document type is my HTML, since this is an HTML program for the one who are attending this session, like for whom this is a first time session. So document type is my HTML. So here I have to write doc type HTML, and then I have to start my HTML this with an HTML keyword followed by braces, and then like if I want to write in header, so I can just continue with my header part, and then you can mention title and all those stuff, and then I'll mainly in my body part whatever I want to give like as a content. It can be mainly like if you want to put a CSS code, whatever is your aim for the program, we write in the body part, and then like we end our body structure, and then we end the HTML thing also. So here my aim is to add an iframe tag in my program. So today let's just see how do we do it. So if I want to embed if I want to embed an YouTube video in my HTML document, how do I do that? Is like we have to open our document.
Final, a comprehensive.
And then herein, if you see like below any YouTube video, there will be an option for share. And then here you'll see the full path for your program. For example, the height, width, anything. So this is what I have to copy. And then I have to paste in my program here. Let's just run the program. Okay, so maybe let's just see what is the error here.
That was iframe tags.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, okay. This was the one. Yeah, so if we see here, I can open this video on my page, and then I can scroll it. I can do anything. And also, let's just try to fix the height and width in my program and see what it was telling. So here, as I told you, if I want to include any type of audios, videos, or if I want to include any web page also, so for that I have to use an iframe. And here it was what is my height and width will be for that particular video which I'm adding in my program, followed by the SRC attribute which tells about the path of that YouTube video. Yeah, so this is mainly the path of that particular YouTube video, and then this is how we are embedding it in our program, and then let's just fix the height and width. So it is 200. Yeah, so if you see, and then in many of ways, I can just also add a lot of iframes in my program. For example, let's just add another YouTube video. Let's just add one more video.
आज की वीडियो
So this is what I have done. I have included 3 YouTube videos in my program, and this right now I am doing it normally without using grid or grid or flex. You see here, like depending on the height and width I've given to my program, it is displaying in my web content. And also let's just see how do we add and how do we embed and website in our program. So let's just open Learnovate page itself. Learnovate. And then I'll like to embed this in my program. So let's just add here. Just add it. Here in the SRC part, whatever is my URL, I have to put my URL. And Control S. Then let's just see what do we get now.
The angular bracket is not closed.
Yeah, let me just check it.
After the URL.
Yeah, it is closed if you see /iframe.
No, ma'am, before that.
Iframe with SRC.
Greater than symbol.
Okay, here. Okay. Yeah. So let's just run it and see what is my output. Okay, maybe, and also class, if you're putting any kind of content which has copyright, so that kind of content won't be published. For example, I was trying to run this video yesterday and it did not run because like this video on YouTube, it has a copyright. So for example, any kind of videos or any kind of websites which has a copyright on them, you won't be able to run that. So copyright also should plays an important role if you want to include in your website. If there is no such copyright, you'll be able to include it, and if there is a copyright, you won't be able to include that in your program. So if you see here, it did not run because it had that, because that video had a copyright on that. So let's just open it and see if that opens. No, it's not opening because that video or that website has a copyright. So you might not be able to include that in your program. So this is also an important aspect when you're trying to include or embed any kind of videos or any kind of stuff in your website. Yeah. And then the next was iframe is covered, and then let's just see how do we write an OL and UL tag in your program. So I'll just put in header. Well, Sample tag example. And then I'll use first OL. So and then in my OL, I'll put a list. It will be mainly, let's say, graduation. /li. And then let's include an UL tag. Then write inside that more list. And then let's close my UL /UL. Then /OL. I'm just like for the time frame, I'm just taking one examples only so that it's easy for us. So yeah, class, as I told you, like what is OL tag is mainly you'll get numbers for it, and for UL tag you'll get bullet prints and all those stuff. So to use that, you can use it like this. Is this example clear, class?
So,
So now let's just cover an example for UTF. Yeah. I'll just show you how do we like as I was telling you in class, like for 65 to 90 is my uppercase value and 97 to 122 is my lowercase value. So if I want to print that in my HTML program, how do I do that? So let's try displaying characters. Displaying ASCII characters, and I like to display ABC. Not ABC. Yeah. A. So like whenever you want to include ASCII values, you have to use it in like in the beginning of that particular number, you have to use ampersand and hash, and then followed by the numbers if you want to include. For example, here if I'm including only 65, let's just see only for one number and then let's print the other numbers. Or let's do A and B, semicolon, ampersand, hash 66. And then I'll close my paragraph tag. And then let's just see what do we get as our output. Yeah, so as I told you, like the first paragraph tag which I used, like therein I have mentioned displaying ASCII characters A, B, and C, and then therein, if you see, I have just put in the value of 65 and 66, which is just displaying my output as A and B. And if you see, even if I write, like I told you, 65 to 90 is my value, so let's just do Z and see what comes in as the output. Ampersand -90. Let's just save it and then run it again. Yeah, if you see the 90 value is assigned for my z case, so it is appearing, and then let's just also see what 122 comes as an output, because 122 is lowercase z in ASCII. So if I write in here 122 and save and run, yeah, you see here, like what I told you was like 97 to 122 we have lowercase, 65 to 90 we have the uppercase ASCII characters. So these are my values which I've printed, and then let's try to add an emoji now and emoji in our program using this ASCII sets. So if you see in my presentation, there are a lot of unique codes already. Like as I told you, like for ASCII, for uppercase and lowercase, there were the sets 65 to 90 and then 97 to 122 which were being assigned. So if I want to use all these emojis also, so there are fixed case numbers which are already assigned in HTML. So these are some of my codes which are already being assigned, and let's just use this one, 128515, and then see what is my output. 128515, 128515. Was it 128515, right? 1228 हो गया, 128515, and then let's just run it. If you see here, you'll get an emoji. So similarly, if you want to print any of the emojis which you use in WhatsApp or any of the websites, there is already an unique UTF character being assigned to your emojis, and you'll be able to print it. For example, let's just use this one, 128513. 128513. You'll get the complete set on the official website for HTML therein. Just do it 510 and see what happens. See, it's just 190 and see if it is valid or not. See, as I told you, like there are a lot of things, there are a lot of UTF characters being assigned to the emojis. So accordingly, you have to see, and whatever you want to use, you can just use it. Yeah. And then the next program will be, so we are done with covering iframe tag, we are done with covering OLUL tag, and we are done with covering emojis in my program. Any doubt, class, in any of the programs which I've done till now?
No, ma'am.
So now let's just see an example for ParallelX program. So for ParallelX, to use ParallelX, first I should know how do we use an image class. So everyone is aware how do we add an image to my program? Image to any HTML. Yeah. So now let's see how do we do it. So in my header section, I'll declare an inline CSS. Use ParallelX, and later I'll declare that I will call that CSS from my program. So for that, here I'm writing .ParallelX, and then I'm opening a curly brace, and then as I told you, I have to use define a to like use a ParallelX or to use ParallelX in your program. These are the 4 things which should be there in your program. So I'll be using this now. The first one is my background image. And class, anyways, I'll just suggest you to use Notepad, not Notepad. You'll get a hang of the program first. And if you're doing any kind of errors, it will be known to you. I have only one image in my laptop, so I use every time that TIA8 JPG. I'll end it. And then height, I'll declare image. Let's just do it as 400 pixels. And then background attachment. Attachment hyphen. Background attachment, and then I want to pass the value as fixed. And then I end it. Background position. Center. It should be cover. It should cover my entire program, so I'm giving it as cover. And then background repeat. Okay, let's just see what were the parameters for background repeat. It was either repeat, no repeat. Okay, so I have to use here mainly repeat. Repeat, and then let's just use background size. And then let's just see what were the parameters for background size. It is mainly auto, length, or cover. So let's just give auto. And then I'll just end my line CSS with /style. And then let's end the header. And then this is what is Parallax all about. Like all these things, you have to declare an inline CSS, and then you have to give a name to your class. For example, here I have given PARALLAX. For example, you can give any name which you prefer. And then these are the properties which I have defined for my Parallax. Like background image is dia8.jpg, which is already there here in my folder. Okay, is it there? Yeah. So this is my image name. And then these are the values which I have passed for my fixed parameters, that is background attachment, background position, background repeat, and background size. And I have ended my inline CSS here, and then head part. And then in my body part, what I'll do is I'll just call that using div tag. Div class equal to PARALLAX parallax, and then I'll close the div part. There's some issues with the angular brackets on my keyboard. And then also, you can just style accordingly whatever you prefer. So herein I'll just style the height and width. It is equal to 200. It is equal to 200. And then this is just normal class. If you want to just declare. Otherwise, let's just leave it. Not HTML. Okay, I guess there's an issue with the image. Let's just see. Dia8. So my background image is Dia8, and then okay, let's just add the color also. So we see if there's an error with the image or there's an error with div style equal to height 1000 pixel, and then it as red. And then see what happens now. And then div style is equal to height width open. Okay. And then save it and see what happens.
Ma'am, quotes.
Yeah, style code was div color red slash style. Yeah. So let's see. I guess this should not matter, class. I don't know why it is not running. This is just a color and height which I am adding to my program. Background attachment. Let's just see if my URL is background.
Ma'am, style, the whole style thing was not in double quotes.
Yeah, class, but that is just an optional. Like if I want to add any kind of thing in my this, I'll be adding. But let's just add it later on. But see what is the issue with my image and then the other things. It should run without the styling part also. Because this is the main content for your Parallax program.
Some curly braces is missing for
Yeah.
parallax.
Yeah.
And ma'am, the image name should be in double inverted commas.
Yeah, the image. Okay. .jpg right here. Background image URL. Yeah, the image name is correct, class. Okay, let's just add it and see. Image. I guess I have added a quote here, DI already. I guess like this happens when either your program is not taking the image, or either like yesterday when I ran it here, it was taking my image. And if you see here, the scrolling effect is proper. Just run the running one. See, as I told you, like this is just a normal aspect. Even if I remove this in my program, it should not matter. As I told you, like, right? It was just the background color and the height and width which was showing. So yeah, if you see your background image URL dia8.jpg. Okay, so this is also one aspect. And then height, background position, cover. And then yes, any doubts, class, in Parallax also now?
Ma'am.
I guess let me just use this source. If that runs in my one. Okay. So I told you like there was an issue with the image part. Sometimes it takes in, sometimes it does not take because this laptop is Office one. And also I don't know why it is taking a lot of diyas. Minimum height auto. Okay. So because I have written here background repeat as repeat and then this, so that's why it is taking multiple images. And then also the reason why the scrolling effect is not coming here, because I have given my background attachment as fixed. So if you see here, my background size is auto length, cover and contain. So if I give the background size as cover, let's see what happens. Background size as cover. Background size cover, yeah. And then let's see. See, you can just see here. So similarly, like these are all the parameters for your Parallax program and you can just use in as per your wish. So if I put the background attachment as scroll, here in background attachment, instead of fixed, if I put in here scroll, So I should be able to get the scrolling effect. So yeah. I guess I have covered all the tags. I have covered iframe, HTML tag, Polaris. Any doubts, class? In any of the content which I have covered today?
No, ma'am.
And as I just checked your assignment part, and then I guess you have to run like you have to write a program using grid for all the iframe like using iframe tags. So I guess class that was clear in my last class only. Like I told you how do we use grid and flex in your program. In case people who are new, you can just reach out to me, or I'll just cover next grid or flex. Whenever I'm covering, you can do that accordingly. So yes, I'll just send your assignments and then you can just do it. And in case if you have any doubts regarding HTML or any other topic, you can just reach me out. Thank you, class. Have a good Sunday then.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Ranjan. Thank you, Tim.
They will all now line up for a group photograph.